was the only guy from Mississippi State to go double figures last night. And on the other side, Missouri, 7-10 all-time in the SEC tournament. They beat Mississippi State 88-61 in Starkville earlier this year. So a rematch, maybe a little revenge on their mind as we are set to get things tipped off. And it will be State controlling the ball. That's Riley Kugel. They quickly get the roll and knee or dunk, but denied by the rim. Boy, he was high above the basket. That going to Woko. And maybe connecting the head as Robinson is holding his head.
You know, Chris Jans called that play several times last night. That middle ball screen, I talked about it. If you can't cover that high ball screen in March, you're going to get knocked out of a tournament, whether it's this one or the next one. And a lot of rim pressure early from Mississippi State in their opening possession.
Anthony Robinson finally took the right hand off of his head. The exact way you want to start 13 seconds into the game. Matthews slips, falls down. All sorts of ball pressure. He somehow is able to get it to Kugel. 5 on the shot clock. Matthews, the penetration and a nice touch. He's down and he is in pain. They've got hit in the midsection. And big Cam Matthews down on the ground, 6'7", 235-pounder.
He is such a rugged player as Matthews, and he benefited from Nwoko carving out space and opening up that drive lane. And Matthews right here, he is a load, 6'7", 240.
I think his own man got him, Jimmy.
Yeah,
I think Nwoko's elbow may have got him right in the gut.
Friendly fire, but one of the most difficult guys to defend in this league is Matthews, who does everything other than knock down jump shots.
Take a look at that Missouri starting 5. Perkins has the ball. And the baseline wide open underneath, and the layup is good. Mark Mitchell, and now down goes a Missouri player underneath the basket. What a bizarre start. Both guys sort of grimacing and absorbing pain in similar spots.
Well, Pierce back in the starting lineup, and you're going to see the, yeah, there's the contact right there. Pierce immediately dropped, but a very tough, determined baseline drive by Pierce for Missouri's first possession.
You know who the guilty party on both pains were? Nwoko.
If there's contact, he's involved.
He got one with the elbow and one with the knee. Take a look at the starting lineup for Mississippi State. Chris Jans, 21-11 on the season. They had a hard reset, he said, on Monday. Back to the basics after they'd lost 4 of 5. Doubling Hubbard up top. They swing it. And Kugel, the Florida transfer, finds Melendez. That's off to the right. Robinson and Perkins in the backcourt for this Missouri team. They average about 37 points a game off the bench. A lot of that is Caleb Brill. Lefty 3 from the corner finds the bottom, and we've seen that act before. Tamar Bates.
I mean, Missouri comes in making 9 to 10 threes per game at 38%. They can really get hot from distance.
Matthews finds his man camped underneath. Down to the ground, went Nwoko.
Well, when you're playing a team like Missouri that likes to knock down those threes, you've got to guard the ball. And I talk about it all the time. If you can't guard the ball and stay in front of the ball, it's a real problem. That's just a simple perimeter pass to the corner for Bates, a rise and fire. Mississippi State comes in uncharacteristically 38 in the country in defensive efficiency. That's not Chris Jans' ball.
Hubbard left wide open. That one does not go in. Melendez offensive rebound. Nice touch right in front of Robinson. And they will crash the board. We haven't seen Kashawn Murphy, a terrific offensive rebounder in the game yet for Mississippi State. First foul of the game from Missouri was on Bates. Robinson misses, as he said. Hubbard spiraling backwards.
Nwoko's so good at those early transition ball screens, freeing up room for drivers.
Hubbard, a little fadeaway. He does that so well.
He can separate and get his own as good as any guard in this league.
Turnover there. Kugel picked it off, and it will be Mississippi State basketball. Hubbard falls down. He got knocked down by Robinson. In the backcourt, he tried to pick him up defensively early. And was right in front of our official.
Yeah, that's a rare foul you see in the backcourt when the conversion is going from defense to offense. That's what I'm talking about with Hubbard. His ability to step back and create not just a little bit of separation, but a lot of separation over a pretty good defender, Robinson.
Hubbard was on a run out a little bit, and Robinson and he collided. And the call was made immediately against Robinson, who then immediately said, you got to look at that. Who initiated the contact? Bart Lennox was right on top of it. It was literally in front of him. You take a look at Jans and Dennis Gates. You know, we talked about how this conference has exploded. Much of that has to do, Jimmy, with the coaches that they have hired since we've been doing this about 8 to 10 years. You can really see this conference turn the corner.
Coaches the league has hired and the coaches that have been retained. Look on the left side right there. Those guys get tangled up, and that initial foul was called on Robinson. I don't see anything to change it. Chris Jans right now, third year at Mississippi State, 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances of what he has accomplished in Starkville. Bart Lennox, Jeb Hartness, and Vladimir Boyard-Tadal have all had a look at it.
After review, common foul on the floor stands.
Robinson's point was that he was grabbed by Hubbard, even though Hubbard went to the floor. Say this about Hubbard, say it about Mark Sears. A whole bunch of the guards have put on a lot of muscle. Hubbard's certainly another one of those guys. He's like a fire hydrant or a bowling ball going downhill. So hard to guard. And he gets up, as you mentioned.
What a matchup with Robinson on Hubbard. Robinson, the only underclassman in this SEC, Ravi, to be on that all-defensive team. That's how good he is. Talking about 0 and white.
Mitchell, a lot of folks tuning in won't really recognize him. He got a haircut the last couple of days. It looks entirely different. The Duke transfers. Melendez on the baseline throws it up lefty. And that looks like it's going to be on Robinson again, and that is his second.
So you're going to take an all-league defender out of this game, most likely Dennis Gates early. 2 fouls on Anthony Robinson, and now you bring in the 6th man of the year, Caleb Grill. And Anthony Robinson just gets into the cylinder, and that's an easy call to make on Melendez as the shooter. And Grill will check in, brings more offense. Not the defender, though, of Anthony Robinson.
He's not, but he will make up for that, they think, and we've seen offensively. And Robinson's all fired up as he goes to the bench. He feels like the Hubbard call shouldn't have gone against him. And now 2, and he goes to the bench with 16:59 left in this first half. And Dennis Gates is having a word with the officials as well about that.
Gonna be back on February 1st. Mississippi State and Missouri played, and Missouri won 88-61 at Mississippi State. Caleb Grill went for 20. Josh Gray had 11 rebounds. And Mizzou as a team made 15 threes. Yep. You know those numbers were written down on the whiteboard by Chris Jans.
Without question. Double-double did Josh Gray, who is not starting tonight. That will be seen. They leave Grill open, and he launches right off the bench. That was right on line, just a hair strong.
He doesn't need 30 seconds to get into a groove.
Trying to get it to Nwoko down low. Instead, it's Kuba who intercepted the pass. Good rebound by Mitchell. Great shot as he took the body, and Tony Perkins was able to get that ball in off the window.
Now, how good was Perkins? 2-time All-Big Ten out of Iowa. And that verticality play, well officiated, uncalled. Josh Hubbard is as good in the country, Rabbi, at drawing contact off 3-point shots.
Perkins got underneath him. We'll take a timeout. Hubbard will have 3 free throws when we come back.
Now watch Perkins. This is Missouri basketball right here, the rip and run game. And they bring it with force. They don't see a yield sign or a stop sign in conversion. They bring that thing with heat. And that play right there, that's verticality at its best. Play goes uncalled as it should. Win the rim collisions. That time Perkins did. Here for a guy that's only 5'10", and Caleb Grill is a difference maker when he checks in.
So I talked to Grill yesterday just about shooting. I said, so a lot of guys will tell you they don't follow the ball in the air. What do? He follows the ball in the air.
That's uncommon.
I said, what part of the rim do you look at? He said front.
I like that. You know, a lot of guys, if they can give you a specific answer, that's a good sign of a good shooter, Ravi. A lot of guys, you ask them, they don't really know what they're looking at. It's hard to hit what you don't see. And Grill is dialed in, man,
so
as a
good.
jump shooter, yeah.
You know, quickly as Hubbard's made his first 2 free throws, would you say that the freshman of the year was the most hotly contested award because there's so many great
Oh my gosh, you could have made a case for 5 or 6 guys in this league.
Yeah.
You know, Texas got that win. I saw Trey Johnson out in the hallway about 20 minutes ago. Just the pure blissful joy that he has of advancing, man. You can't have that type of experience only in March Madness.
Right.
It's so good to see him get to experience it.
Big Josh Gray now into the game. He has the ball, handing it off with 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Mitchell baseline with Kugel. Great cross-court pass to Grill's 3. Nearly went it off the window. Offensive rebound, put back up and in. And a good start to the game for Tony Perkins. Back comes State. Melendez no good. And the ball hits the ground on a great box out. Look at the run game. That is blocked by Nwoko and all sorts of contact underneath. A foul call, 2 free throws coming up for Bates in Missouri.
Well, you guys, in Mississippi State's last huddle, the focus was all on defensive intensity. Cam Matthews got in his teammates' faces and said, make them take those tough twos, but they are not going to beat us today with threes. Chris Jans showing some of that anger that he wants his team to play with. He got in guys' faces yelling, you've got to be athletic when you play these guys. Defending them should take everything that you have. So the Bulldogs full fire right now, guys.
Well, he told his club, Molly, earlier again that checking out mentally, defensively tonight is just not an option. And he talked about Missouri being the 8th best team in the country, scoring points at 84 points per game. And everybody has to rebound. Those Missouri threes, it's a foot race to the ball on a miss. And you got to win more than you lose.
Kugel and Nwoko go to the bench, and into the game come Claudell Harris Jr. and Kashawn Murphy. It's important to have Matthews reinforce the message that Jans wants by saying to the team, we got to tighten up on defense.
Matthews is the enforcer, and he's the spirit of this Mississippi State squad.
RJ Melendez guarded by Grill. Murphy, no good. Had a good game last night.
You can see a ball screen right here. Anytime Missouri brings it up to the guard, they're going to get a drag screen set on him.
Perkins rattles it around, then he uses the backboard to have it drop. He's got 6 quickies. It looks like they're planning Jimmy double team Hubbard. Allow people like Melendez to take shots from the corner. He missed that 3. And it's Missouri's basketball. Foul underneath against Mississippi State.
When Missouri brings it in conversion offense, they're going to set a drag screen more times than not. Freeze it right there, guys. This is what I'm talking about. That's just an instant drag screen to get that guard to turn the corner, get downhill, read the defense, and make a play. And Perkins with that dribble hold after he gets Hubbard behind him, bam, sticks it.
Melendez picked up that foul. He goes to the bench. Whoop, pretty move, Bates. An even better move to finish around 3 Bulldogs, an 8-0 run.
What a shake by Bates, huh, to free himself up.
Shaking Bates. like what you
at,
did
yeah,
there.
huh?
Wide open 3, too strong. And a great rip rebound. They're going to get a foul on State. That's going to be called against Sean Jones Jr.
Boy, the enforcer, Gray, on the boards. Again, he had 11 rebounds the first time these two teams met. Look at Bates right there. That little side ball fake to shift that defender from his left side to his right side. Got him going down that left pipe. And look at Gray, man. Just A guy that just carves out space, knows his role, man. A kind of a 5.5 rebound guy, but he gives you all he has for those 25 minutes he's on the floor.
7 feet, 260 pounds, and Josh Gray, a South Carolina transfer. Missouri on a run right now, leading by 5.
My favorite part of Josh Gray,
Yeah.
one black shoe, one white shoe.
Yes.
You bring them together, it's great. There it is. I mean, how many guys can do that for a real purpose?
And he is a guy that's got a real purpose in wearing those sneakers. He's making a point. And he just threw the ball out of bounds. That's not the point he wanted to make.
I've done that before on a road trip, just not intentionally. Open up my luggage and like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. You ever go on a road trip and actually forget your dress shirts?
I know someone that did this week in Nashville, sitting beside me.
Our statistician, Mike McCarroll? So they're going to keep it, apparently, Jimmy, with Missouri. And on the back of those sneakers that Gray wears, it says equity. Mitchell, oh boy, did he take an extra step? He somehow got the layup and no whistle.
Remember, he's a 2-year starter at Duke. Dennis Gates wants his guys not running plays, but making plays and playing off instincts. Really well done by Mitchell.
Mississippi State has missed 5 in a row, and not that one. Hubbard.
It's like he plays with a bigger rim than everybody else when he rises to fire, right?
Yeah. And it's like in slow motion when he does. Impossible shot for Bates, and he's on the floor. Chance for State to run. Jones Jr. crowd wanted him called for an extra step. It's Mitchell on Hubbard. He rises, fires. Oh, that was halfway down. Yeah, he's feeling good tonight. Strong finish, man. How about the start Perkins is having? He's got 8.
And how about the breaks by Perkins? An underrated part of basketball, Ravi, is your ability to go full speed and stop.
Yeah.
And Perkins just shook his defender with great stoppability off of the drive. I mean, he's bringing this thing with force. And his ability to slam on the brakes right there and shake that defense off and pivot away from the pressure, a little bit of a fadeaway, but still a nice rise and release by Perkins.
Over Matthews. I don't think Jans really appreciated the defense effort from Matthews, so he goes to the pine. We got a chance to double Jones in the corner. He steps through it and gets it to Murphy. Penetrates and no good off the window. Big fight for the basketball, and it's Missouri who comes away. Pierce just into the game. Mitchell, he threw him away with that left arm and down to the ground with Melendez. A whistle into the mouth of the official.
That is an easy call, and that offensive player extends that arm. And Chris Jans really got into his guys the last 2 days of practice prior to coming to Nashville about, you want to advance in March, and this term or the next one, you start guarding your rear end off. And they have done a much better job last night and so far tonight.
Quick pass to Murphy from Hubbard, who's open, and that is his range right there. Absorbs the contact and gets the whistle. Yeah, to your point, Jan says, we did defensive drills we haven't done for months to try to turn it up.
We are not sprinting back. That is a choice. You are choosing not to play with intensity. So Chris Jan's bringing it again tonight, guys.
Yeah, and you did a good job trying to add a little levity, lighten the moment. He wasn't having any of it. Jones Jr. knocks down a 3 out of the break to pull him within 3. And what not getting back does, Jimmy, has allowed Missouri to outscore him in the paint 12-4.
Yeah, that get-back defense is crucial when you play Missouri. Man, Missouri
won't be happy about that either.
They are so aggressive, the team in white, at getting downhill. They don't overpass, and they have multiple guys that just drive it with force.
Murphy, that's an easy paint touch, and he missed it fighting for the rebound, and he grabs it away. Nice cut by Sean Jones Jr. to get open.
Ravi, if you move the ball and you move people against Missouri, you will get some good looks. They are a gambling, high-pressure defense. You got to make him pay and burn that pressure off with cutters from the weak side.
Marquez Warwick in the game. Number 1, he has the basketball now. He's got Gray on a roll. And now he gets it down low to him. Big man goes to work. Jones Jr. ties him up.
Yeah.
And the possession arrow will stay with Missouri.
Good job by Jones Jr. to double team that basketball from the blind side. Gray couldn't see it coming. And it flips the possession arrow.
Jacob Cruz also into the game. Caleb Grill 0 for 2, hasn't scored yet. They inbounds it. They're going to get Melendez holding Pierce as he gives up about 4 inches. And for Melendez, his second, so Kugel will come off the bench and send Melendez back to it.
Such a smart play, though, by Warwick to recognize, just forget about the play call. You got an advantage at the rim, just throw it up.
Set play in the corner, no good. Grill rebounds Kugel. Did he come down out of bounds? He did on a great effort. Jacob Cruz, they set him up, Jimmy. 37 threes and 107 attempts.
Dennis Gates' team, right, they're so good at random traps. They'll gamble on occasions and just they really try to disrupt you. A chaotic style to play against. I mean, they just completely disrupted Kansas early this year. Kansas was just throwing the ball to them. They got so frustrated against that pressure.
Long three, Kugel, that's an air ball. Good defense there. Jones anticipated a lazy pass. Murphy spinning into the paint. There's contact there. Couldn't get it to go. And Gray rips it down. Boy, Murphy's missed a couple right next to the rim. Pierce pull up. That could be 4.
Missouri has to be top 10 in the country at getting fouled when they shoot threes. And because they get them off so quick, they get the defense lunging at the ball a lot of times. Pierce at his core, he's a 6'11" guard. And he gets out and runs that floor on the left side and gets those feet to stick down. And the reach in, the lazy defense by Kugel.
Yes.
Just with a lazy reach right there. And a beautiful spin by a 6'11" kid from distance.
Disappointing couple of minutes there for Kugel. The air ball on one end. And then just that reach foul led to a 4-point play. He takes a break. You know, the ability of everybody in this Missouri team, Jimmy, through this season, 8 different players have led the team in scoring at the end of a game. Nwoka one-on-one with Grill. He muscled him out of the way. There's Grill. That's a really good recovery defense by Mississippi State. Difficult pass. Yeah, he was in trouble from Jump Street. Warwick, and that's the 4th turnover for the Tigers.
Ravi, I do see a trend right now, though, for Missouri. They're going at Josh Hubbard, making him play defense. I mean, he's such an electric offensive player, still growing as a defender. Talking about 12 in black right there. And those Missouri guards, to me, it looks like when they have him on an island, they are going right at that sophomore guard.
Well, State did a good job. Grill will leave now. He still has no points on 0 for 2 shooting. So they've turned the water off on one of their better scorers.
Good job to switch out on that get
Yes.
action by Hubbard.
100%. Too long with a strong 3 from the corner. Perkins sees the lane. Ooh, he went up hard with it. Nwoka with a block.
Boy, they are bringing it. They are getting that ball off that defensive glass and getting it to the other rim within 4 or 5 seconds. That foul occurred with 24 on the shot clock. And Perkins, nobody gets back in the middle of the floor and stops the ball. There's no wall being built. And Perkins just brings the jackhammer. Very powerful, right, for a 6'2" guard?
Yeah, they seem to be seeing highways when other people might see alleyways. They are just taking it to the rack. They've got 10 fast break points. Mississippi State doesn't have any. Three ball, too strong. That's out of bounds. It was Mitchell who deflected it.
Missouri's already been called for 6 fouls. It's kind of been of a trend the last couple of weeks. They've been called for a lot of fouls. And it's important because Missouri is 17-0 this year when the opponents shoot less than 22 free throws. Missouri has to play tough, fast, energetic, but they cannot foul and keep Mississippi State in this game from the strike.
All right, well, Mississippi State is shot 5. We'll keep an eye on that statistic. Harris Jr. a little too quick. His pass to Nwoko out of bounds, and another turnover for Mississippi State.
Mizzou will speed you up. The way they play defense, and you've got to play off of 2 feet and make the right pass against this team in white.
Mitchell, lefty, he's got a chance for 3, showing his strength that he continues to have a special season.
And you and I didn't even recognize him yesterday when we saw him. I mean, I was looking right at him and then asked the SID, where's Mark Mitchell? That's how different he looks with a new fresh haircut. But this is a 2-year starter at Duke that has been in big games, man, throughout his college career. And Dennis Gates likes him in isolation action. This goes beast mode at that small forward, power forward slot.
Yeah, 3rd team all SEC. His last 8 games, he's averaging 20 points per game, shooting near 60%, and the free throw is pure. Largest lead of the night for Missouri. And that last foul was against Nwoko. He goes to the bench. Murphy back in.
It's a Missouri team that has averaging 90 points over their past 8. 84 on the season, 90 over the past 8 games.
Kugel back in, throws one up. That's no good. He's struggling as he came off the bench. That's a good tie-up, and this time the possession arrow has shifted. It'll be Mississippi State.
He understands it well. Molly, what do you got for us?
Well, Dennis Gates was reminding his team in that last time out to stay balanced offensively, saying make sure we don't settle for some of those bad shots. You need to drive into the paint to attack and frustrate them. You need to get to the free throw line more than they do in this one.
Well, they're getting to the paint more, that's for sure, and they're shooting almost 60%. They were 11 of 19 from the floor. It's ironic, too, because remember, Robinson went out, he picked up a 2nd foul, and he was all mad. Since he's been on the bench, they've gone on a 23-12 run. State needs the ball to start falling. Otherwise, this one with the fresh legs of Missouri, and that's part of maybe their approach. They know State played late last night. They were off yesterday.
And Robbie, it's 17-8 Missouri on the boards early in this game. That could be a very big, difficult number to overcome for the team from Starkville.
Yep. Mitchell double team. He lost it. Murphy. A bounce back to Jones. Hubbard. Strong man. He could just flick his wrist to get that ball across.
Hubbard, no doubt. Both teams solidly in that NCAA tournament, and that bracket's released on Sunday. 2 of the now 14 teams out of this league, I believe, are going to be in that bracket when it comes out on Selection Sunday. An all-time high historical year for the SEC.
Do you think the expectations have changed in the NCAA tournament because of the historical regular season and the success they had?
No doubt. There's pressure on the SEC this year, I think, to deliver with a national title and back up how great they've been in the regular season. This league has not won one since 2012. John Calipari at Kentucky was the last one.
Matthews uses the muscle. Grill just came in and immediately got fried. Underneath, he picked up a foul, chance for a 3-point play.
Well, this is just bully ball by Cam Matthews, and he understands isolation, and Chris Jans does as well. They have an advantage. There's no reason to run offense. Just let your guy make a play right through the chin and to the rim by Cam Matthews.
Free throw too strong, loose ball, and out of bounds against Mississippi State.
Think about Cam Matthews, the only guy in the SEC history over 950 points, over 850 rebounds, over 250 steals, and over 350 assists. That's amazing when you think of all the great players that come through here, and all those things are tied to effort I just talked about.
He is a handyman. He literally does everything, as you mentioned, including lead the team. Here's Grill. High archer. That's over the backboard, and some frustration for Caleb Grill 0 for 3 out of the gate.
I talked to Caleb Grill yesterday and said, when your shot is off, what is it tied to? He said, either I'm not on balance, or my arc on the ball is not appropriate. And great shooters understand what's wrong with their shot within the game. He'll fix it going forward.
In a separate conversation, balance was the same word he brought up to me. There's a three from the corner, right in front of the bench. Jones Jr. buries it. All of a sudden, the game's getting tight.
Jones Jr. was really good yesterday. Josh Hubbard, the only guy in double figures for a team that scored 90, but a lot of other guys had 8 or 9. Jones is one of them.
Mitchell Murphy got that block. Hubbard screen and a blow by and a floater. No, he's had a few rattle in and out. How about Keshawn Murphy? Both ends of the floor, and all of a sudden, State's got it down to 1.
And you see Mississippi State starting to play with that anger that Chris Jans loves here in Nashville.
OCD is more than what you see on TV and in the movies. It comes with unrelenting, intrusive images, thoughts, and urges. If you have OCD and need help, you can get better with specialized treatment. Go to nocd.com to learn more.
We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and espresso beans and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and so much more.com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com.
Well, you know I love Keshawn Murphy for what he does for Mississippi State. Just the 6'11" athlete around the rim. Blocks shots, he gets grown man rebounds, and he can change the game, Ravi, with his size and his length around that restricted arc on both ends. And Josh Hubbard, think about what Josh Hubbard did in high school. 4,367 points, the all-time scoring leader out of the state of Mississippi.
Sounds like Travis Perry in Kentucky.
Yeah,
his high school
exactly.
numbers. And we'll have Kentucky coming up next against Oklahoma.
Two dudes that are wired to score.
Missouri has turned it over 4 times in their last 9 trips. Perkins fills in. Matthews with a closeout. Now they got him trapped underneath. Out of bounds, Mississippi State on an excellent effort, Jimmy. They jumped to double team. Sean Jones Jr. had his foot out of bounds trying to keep it in.
Zakai Ziegler is the defensive player of the year. That's who I voted for as well. But Cam Matthews right there chomping at his heels. Cam Matthews guards the ball as good or better than anyone else in this league.
Yeah, difficult inbounds. Murphy, I think, may have got a hand on it again. Good Matthews handling and throwing it away. Kugel cut on him. Matthews got in the air, and that's another turnover for Mississippi State. Only their second of the night.
That's pretty good against the Missouri team. Again, they try to rattle you. They create chaos, and Chris Jans talking to his team before the ball game. Be strong with the ball. Don't get sped up. Play off of 2 feet. Make Missouri work on the defensive end. Don't settle for things early.
Points in the paint, which was very one-sided. Now just 16-12 advantage. Jones Jr. doing a great job on Grill, who throws a bounce pass, and Murphy there to intercept it.
I thought Grill should have shot it. He worked off that screen, re-screen action. Normally he rises and fires.
How active has Keshawn Murphy been in this one? Speaking of rising and firing, Hubbard way off to the left. Jones with a touch pass from behind. Gray with the block and the foul. Molly, go ahead.
Yeah, guys, here scouting his opponent for tomorrow is Florida head coach Todd Golden. Coach, tell me about your team. What a great season you guys have had. What are you hoping to accomplish this weekend?
We're trying to win a championship. You know, I think I'm really proud of our guys and the way we played all year. To be 27-4 at this point is amazing, but we still have a lot to play for. I think we have the 1 seed, a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament on the line. And if we play well this weekend, I think we'll be that last 1 seed.
What is it about this team that makes you believe that this is truly a 1 seed type team?
I think we've been really consistent all year. Very deep. Obviously, we have great guard play with Walter, Elijah, and Will, Denzel, and Irby. And then our front court is really deep. Getting Micah back. Kondo's playing at a really, really high level. Tommy's playing great. Ruben's done a great job for us all year. So go 9 or 10 deep. And, you know, we've been really consistent all year. Had some great wins at Auburn, at Alabama. And I think we have a chance to have a really good ending of the year.
You've had some really good wins, as you mentioned, but the lone home loss was against Mizzou. So you're watching this game. Are you kind of rooting for them a little bit so you guys can get revenge?
You know what? They're really good. So, you know, I'm not sure, but I know our guys are excited if we see them tomorrow. It'll be a great game regardless. And it would be like a Sweet 16, you know, game if we're able to play them. You know, whether it's them or Mississippi State, I think we'll be ready to go. Our guys are really excited to be here.
All right, well, thank you for your time. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Molly.
Ravi.
All right, thank you, Molly. The Golden family there. And you saw several of the Florida Gators, including Panlockton, who gave up the redshirt season because Condon was hurt. And they also realized they got a chance to win the whole thing. And their backcourt, Jimmy, is as good as there is in the country, and maybe as good as there's been in the country for a while.
If you would ask me who's the team out of the SEC that's built to win a national championship, it's the Florida Gators. They have everything. They have 5 legit guards. They have 4 or 5 legit bigs. And it also speaks to how good Missouri is. They went and won at Florida this year. And I think everyone that follows college basketball would agree that Florida's one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the country.
All right, new game, 28-28 as Murphy knocks down 1 of 2. Grill doesn't shoot, he passes, and then one ball fake 3 is money.
That is the right pass by Grill. You hear me say it all the time. Extra passes result in turnovers. The right passes result in good shots. And a beautiful job by Bates on the ball fake in the corner. 10 points right now for Tamar Bates. But watch Caleb Grill. He's going to pop out right here and receive this pass. And that is the right pass, not the extra pass. Tamar Bates, very simple with that shot fake and sidestep 3. And just Dennis Gates, like you mentioned earlier, 6, 7, 8 different guys have led them in scoring throughout this year. Bates one of them.
Murphy thought about a dunk, and then Greg got his way. He laid it up and in. Keyshawn Murphy is having quite an active game so far.
Keyshawn Murphy is a redshirt junior. It's going to be a chance to be a first-team All-SEC guy next year. He's got that much potential inside that black jersey.
Bruce Matthews all over him, and that is a mistake right there. It went out of bounds off Matthews, but Gray got in the cylinder of his teammate, which would have led to a turnover, but Matthews paused, hit it last. Good game underway, under 4. It's 31-30 Missouri on top of Mississippi State. It's a fair question. Grill, no points, and Hubbard, a quick start, and then kind of has cooled a little bit, but he's got 7. And he's just 1 behind Jones Jr., who leads him with 8.
As good as Grill is, they can win games without him being a major offensive player. 8 different guys have led Missouri in scoring this year. They are a hard scout, Ravi, because of that. Like, who do you really zero in on when you're playing against Missouri? It's a very difficult cover. They don't run a lot of complex action. They make plays, and 8 different guys can be their leading scorer.
Whoa, strong Josh Gray. Murphy may have impacted that. Harris, no good, and Kugel had it for a second, and they got a run out. So they pull up and fire a 3. How difficult the shot is that? Jacob Cruz stepped into it.
Well, he went from a 20% three-point shooter in non-conference play to 36% now.
Yeah, Murphy, an easy one, man. He is living in the paint and making a living down there.
He can really run, man, like a gazelle from rim to rim. And he scored that time before he caught it.
Cruz, he was feeling it, no good. This battle between Murphy and Gray is spectacular.
He's going to drag, put double screen up top. Matthews and Murphy. Just constant pressure, trying to get those guards downhill, really, for both teams.
Cruz, yeah, he's got him, and he held on a little long. And he's looking to make the case that once again Hubbard may have wrapped up Missouri player. Hey, next Tuesday night right here on the network, the ESPN app as well, our next SEC Inside will grant you an all-access pass to the SEC men's basketball tournament. That's 7 Eastern time, 6 Central. You will get never-before-seen footage and sound from the players and coaches, a real behind-the-scenes look. Hey, one thing they can do a real behind-the-scenes look on is all the replay reviews that we've had through the first 2 days, because that is a frequent flyer on these games.
Ravi, there's momentum right now that this is a rule change summer coming up, that these
Previous plays under review.
Well, they're looking for Josh Hubbard. That guy right there, yeah, you could be.
He's holding on to his arm.
If he clamps down, absolutely. That's an F1, I believe, is what they're going to come away with. I mean, Cruz was hollering the entire time. And does Josh Hubbard clamp down? He clearly has a hold of that arm right there. The initial contact was called on Cruz, but I think if they look at this, Hubbard runs the risk of being called for a clamp down, which is an F1.
And you go back to the beginning of the game where Robinson picked up his first foul. That was exactly the case he was making.
Yeah, Josh Hubbard has all the tricks, man. He might have just got caught for one here on this monitor review.
After review, the call is confirmed.
Nope. May have got away with one. What he hasn't done is scored in the last 10 minutes and 6 seconds.
Rabbi Josh Hubbard clearly grabs the arm of Cruz and doesn't let go of it right there.
Oh, he's looking to hold his hand, maybe.
That one surprises me. I love how Chris Jans described Josh Hubbard to us. He said he's a fantastic player and an even better person. And we talked about last year, he came in and took way more shots than anybody else, but no one had a problem with it with that older team because of the type of kid that he is.
Yeah, but a little different night for Hubbard to start this one, as he missed that free throw. Josh Hubbard 2 of 6, 1 of 4 from 3. Too strong on the 3. Gray had it knocked out of bounds. And it'll be Mississippi State basketball. And Hubbard has a fan club on his own team. Sean Jones Jr. said Hubbard is by far my favorite player. He says, I see the work he puts in, his defense, his effort, and he knows he's my favorite player on the planet. And in comes the fan club. Jones Jr. will inbounds.
Josh Hubbard took 34% of their shots last year. To back up that statement about how beautifully he blends in with older players and being the star guy because he's a star kid.
Matthews handled that basketball, and he had picked. Kugel finds Deshaun Murphy. Jones into traffic. Here's Murphy. A little floater there, finding him, and he's finding the bucket.
Good job by Mississippi State, though, for multiple guys to play off of 2 feet. Exactly what you have to do against an uber-aggressive defensive team like Missouri.
6 assists on 13 field goals. Murphy's got 9.
Drill can get that shot off over Hubbard if they swing it back. It's size advantage.
4 seconds, Jimmy. 3 on the shot clock. Good defense. Grill's range is half court. He nearly knocked it in. Offensive rebound and a foul on Murphy as Gray ripped it. And there's just not many dudes that can throw up a half-court shot and have it feel like it's a regular jump shot.
No doubt. A shot that was rebounded offensively. But on the other end, watch the ball movement for Mississippi State. Cam Matthews plays off of 2 feet, but he falls down. Riley Kugel plays off of 2 feet. Murphy plays off of it. And one more time, and that's exactly how you have to play against Missouri. And the final pass was from Sean Jones, but 4 different guys playing off of 2 feet on 1 possession. That is outstanding.
First missed free throw for Missouri tonight. They had been 4 for 4. Josh Gray looking for his first points tonight. I think a night after they played a terrific game and badly destroyed LSU. Mississippi State feels pretty good to be tied, and Hubbard has struggled from the floor. And part of his struggles has been the really good defense Missouri has put on him. Kugel pulls up, that's no good, and Riley Kugel's struggle continues, 0 for 4 now. Seconds to go, first half. Grill backdoor, it's deflected out of bounds. The frustration continues as Hubbard is up in his grill.
Good job by Hubbard, because Hubbard as a scorer, when you're guarding Grill, if you're Hubbard, you just think, how would I guard myself?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't leave myself, and that's exactly what he did to Caleb Grill. Sticky defense from Hubbard to Grill.
Shooters, no shooters.
Yeah.
9 turnovers for Missouri in the first half. Murphy, height advantage over Perkins. And some help came over in the form of Gray, and he knocked it out of bounds.
Chris Jans has a timeout if he wants to use it instead of lose it. Instead, he just makes the play call. 41 down. I'm not sure what that is, but 4 across the timeline. One guy taking it out.
And they get it to the one guy that came down, who's denied by Gray, out of bounds, and wow. This is one that went off of Missouri. Will the officials come together? No, the officials will tell the Missouri bench to sit down.
Well, Josh Gray only plays 15 minutes a game, but he makes a major impact when he's on that floor. Just throws his big bruising body around and wreaks havoc.
Murphy trapped underneath the basket. And a bad pass and a turnover. Perkins, space. Oh! Throwdown. Tamar Bates, 12 in the first half. Hubbard, floater, blocked out of bounds. How about that little session by Missouri? A dunk on one end and a Perkins denial on the other.
Well, again, Josh Gray double-teamed that basketball and got some help. And that Missouri run game, as good as we have in the SEC, they waste no time on those rip and runs. And Bates just brings the hammer with that left paw. And Missouri with a 2-point lead. What a game early, right?
It sure is. Tamar Bates, 4 of 6. A perfect opportunity for a left-hander who's made some threes to dunk the ball from that side of the basket. But you're right, the pace of play from Missouri, Jimmy, every time they get it, it is go, go, go. Dennis Gates has transformed this entire program, and so many of the SEC teams do what he's doing tonight.
Dennis Gates doesn't flinch ever as a head coach. Just watch him over on the sidelines. You don't know if he's up 20 or down 20. And his guys play the same way. And he learns so much about himself and what he believes in last year in that 0-18 stretch. He had a lot of conversations with his mentor, Leonard Hamilton, but he is always in control. Never let him see you sweat. But his guys play extremely hard. And they don't have to have a guy on the sidelines hollering the entire time. He just sits back, trust their training, but man, do they bring the effort.
They sure do. And when he was hired, man, he told them, I don't necessarily care exactly how much money I get NIL-wise. I'll get you guys a winner. And the patience from the administration and from Gates has certainly paid off. Will got his hand in there to deflect it away. We have 33.3 to go in the half, 23 on the shot clock.
Hubbard's on this backside all by himself.
Can Matthews get it to him? He can, and he rises, comes up just short. Gray, here they go again. Perkins.
Take the last one, right? One of the few times you'll see Missouri put the brakes on in transition. Give yourself time for an offensive rebound. And go now.
Kugel switches on to Perkins. Grill, the shot they want. It's perfect. And it ends the half. Caleb Grill's first basket of the night gives them a 5-point lead at the break. 39-34. Molly.
Coach, your offense defense with some big momentum plays there at the end. What do you need to continue to do on the offensive end?
We just got to be able to make the simple plays, not turn it over, but keep rebounding. They are doing a good job attacking our starters and getting us in foul trouble. We just got to stay out of foul trouble, rebound, and obviously make them pay.
How did your defense slow down some of their playmakers?
I think our guys stopped fouling in that situation. We got a hand up. They shot some tough shots, and we held them to one possession.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, MIZ.
Ravi.
Yeah, thank you, Molly. ZOU, Hubbard, that guy right there, scoreless in the final 13 minutes and 9 seconds. And finally, Grill able to elevate and deflate Mississippi State with a 3. We'll send you up to our set. It's Starinoka. The shooter, Slay, Fish. Do we get them all? I think I see them.
Play for Missouri. Man, they are a tough cover.
Molly.
Yeah, guys, at halftime, Mississippi State head coach Chris Jans gathered his team in the locker room and asked them one question. He asked them if they wanted to go home, saying, "You're playing like you want to go home." And the players responded, coming out of the locker room fiery, cheering, yelling at each other. And Jan said our ball screen coverage has changed during the game. We're not being aggressive enough on our ball screens and committing to that change. And we need to play with more confidence and aggression. And he reminded his team, checking out on defense, not an option here tonight.
Well, an alley-oop that may have gone into the basket had Gray not actually deflected it away. Looking like a dead-on 3 as Hubbard and Kugel play catch with it. Only Kugel can't get it to go. Cam Matthews, offensive board. Melendez, yes! He's got a chance for a 4-point play.
We talked about the struggles of Melendez shooting the basketball. At one point, he was a 19% three-point shooter in conference play from 3. Now it's up to about 25%. Just a lack of discipline by Gray to lunge at a shooter. Just you're not going to get to the shot at all. And what a start for Mississippi State in this second 20 minutes.
Yeah, the first 5 are going to be pretty telling whether they took the message from Jans and will be able to apply it.
Mississippi State, Ravi, only 3 turnovers in the first half. Man, that's really good against a Missouri team that wants to scramble you up.
They've missed 5 free throws. Grill, no. Easy rebound, though. There was nobody there but Tamar Bates.
And where was the checkout is what Chris Jans is asking his assistants.
Nwoko back in the game, and Perkins goes down. Nwoko tries to take advantage of that with a floater that will not go. And that's going to be a foul on Nwoko. And right away, Jans barks to bring in Keyshawn Murphy. Short leash.
Well, Nwoko started the game by delivering a couple of blows, and he starts the second half by running someone smooth over. But you got this guy checking in, Keyshawn Murphy. The depth as Nwoko now with 3 fouls has to sit, but a very trusted backup, Keyshawn Murphy, checks in.
Yeah, he led the way. He had 9 points in that first half. Incredibly active. Not many that can go eye to eye with Gray. He's one of them. Such a difficult pass, man. So many guys dive out of bounds and try to throw it all the way across court. And the defense is onto it.
Again, Missouri won the first outing in this regular season, 88-61 at Mississippi State. Missouri had 15 made threes in that game. They out-rebounded the Bulldogs by 8. Just everything went their way in the regular season.
In the series, the Dogs have won 8 of the last 10, but 2 in a row have been won by Mizzou. Four on the shot clock, out of bounds with 3.6 on the shot clock. Grill, give and let go. No good. Bad pass, good hands there. Incredible play by Hubbard to maintain control of a ball that was thrown at his feet.
Not like a shortstop. Yeah, went down to get a bad one, right? To try to turn 2.
Murphy, ooh, he had Gray up in the air, could have drawn the foul. Instead, he passed it, and Kugel tries to dish it to him. He stays alive with it and knocks it down. They've had a few of those types of plays.
They have. Now, Nwoko goes to the bench with foul trouble, but Keyshawn Murphy actually a better offensive player.
That was blocked by Matthews. Murphy down court. Melendez doesn't take it. Hubbard will. And a soft kiss. Just like that, we're tied at 41.
See how quickly he can get it off the bounce. I mean, if he keeps that in his paws, a half second later, that big comes over and erases it with a block shot. A guy is wired to score. Crafty's been small all his life. He knows how to get it done in the paint.
Boy, a big screen there, and on the ground goes Matthews. Bates has it. The lefty to his right, no good. Matthews the rebound, chance for the Dogs to grab the lead. Well, Matthews' ability to handle the basketball.
Well, they got numbers now, right?
Yeah, and Hubbard's got a wide open three, and that's too strong. Boy, it's rare that you see that, but he's so good on the contested threes.
It's crazy. Like their own staff will say he's much better taking guarded threes than wide open ones.
Early answer to the question Jans asked and Molly talked about, do you want to go home? The answer so far, no. Gray with an easy flush. Now, he may have hurt his left leg. He hung on the rim for a while and then escapes right in the ear of the official to say, we got to get him out.
Well, you want to be as aggressive as you can in March. And Mississippi State, that's what I'm talking about, how quickly he gets it off the bounce. I mean, that's a tough shot, but right there, man, the ability to kind of surprise the shot blocker with a quick release from outside the lane. Hard to guard Josh Hubbard.
Good point, though, man. He's been short his whole life. He knows how to avoid getting a shot blocked. Hubbard's got 9, Murphy 11 to lead the way. Murphy ran right into a double team. Heck of a job by Perkins to come on over.
He came from that baseline side and surprised Keyshawn Murphy with that double team.
Grill, his pass to a corner, wide open three. That's no good. Tipped up. Melendez, tough rebound. Oh, Kugel, bad pass. He had him on that roll, man.
Grab it was wide open.
Yes.
I mean, Riley Kugel that's just an empty corner side ball screen that you have to finish with the right pass.
Keep an eye on Josh Gray, who's now moved his way into the tunnel. Maybe back to the locker room as Perkins finds his way in. No. Yeah, Murphy's starting to really rack up rebounds, Jimmy. That's his 7th to go with 11 points. Hubbard, too strong. Grill all the way. Left hand, no. That was affected by Matthews. Oh, hard catch there. That's one of those hospital balls Matthews threw up there. Murphy got it. As we take a look at big Josh Gray, who seemed to grab his leg after a dunk. So he's going to get that worked on. And watch the big fella go up. And when he comes down, you can see him immediately grab for that leg. Cramp right there. He's got a little cramp in the back of that left leg. And let's keep our fingers crossed. This is not a bigger long-term thing. Mitchell's sitting there on the bench. And again, no wrap on that. No brace on it.
He has averaged 20 points over the past 8 ball games, Mark Mitchell. Very difficult one-on-one cover. He could have had 31 points in their win over Alabama. Having Missouri with 11 turnovers in this game. As a result, Mississippi State has gotten 7 more shots off in this game. And Missouri needs to tighten up their handle.
Bad pass. Matthews on the ground. Well, the passes are just a little lazy. Good rip there, though, by Grill. He went for the reverse dunk and ended up throwing it out of bounds.
And a great miss, though, right, by Caleb Grill. And that's one of the more emphatic, forceful drives after the loose ball. I mean, Grill just goes with a purpose. He's going to bring this thing from the backside and try to get it down. Jones with the long arms disrupts it just a little bit. much more than just a three-point specialist, Caleb Grill.
Aiden Shaw into the game. One of the stories, too, tonight, Mississippi State, their three-point shooting, they have made 4 of 18. They had 15 of them last night. Kugel fires, no chance, but he got hit by Grill. 3 free throws coming for Riley Kugel. Fouling three-point shooters, Jimmy.
If you're Caleb Grill, you are never going to get to that ball. I mean, when Riley Kugel caught it, Grill was 10, 12 feet away. You've just not enough time for a closeout to get to the ball. And Riley Kugel now with a chance to stand there unguarded for 3 in a row.
Third time tonight they have fouled the three-point shooter.
You cannot jump towards a shooter. You have to go fly by the side, not in front of him, and mistake by Grill. Wouldn't he know that?
As a great shooter,
he should know, yeah.
State's taken 15 free throws tonight. Missouri has attempted 6. And it's the first lead for Mississippi State since it was 10-9. Robinson plays with 2 fouls, had him early, missed a lot of time in the first half.
Mississippi State starting to hard hedge that ball screen. Chris Jans wasn't happy with his ball screen defense for the first 20 minutes.
Robinson keeps on going into the paint. A little teardropper goes.
You saw that kid last year as a freshman. You knew he's got a chance to be really, really good. All-league defender. When he's at his best, Missouri's at their best. That's how important he is.
He's got a lot of energy. Remember, Hubbard didn't play much in the second half last night because it was such a one-sided game. Legs should be fresh. He is 1 of 7 on three-point shots tonight. Has it again. Now he fires. Way too strong. Great rebound there by Jones.
Well, he's 6'5" and plays like he's 6'9" with his long arm.
Hubbard decided I'm going into the paint, and he will draw the foul and shoot 2 more. I alluded to the fact that last night, Jimmy, 15 of 34, and tonight just 4 of 19. But like you said, and you've seen them all year, they have nights like this. Hubbard will have a night like this.
And Josh Hubbard will also have like 10-minute stretches like this, and all of a sudden he goes on a 9-10-0 run. That's how explosive that he is.
Don't forget, everybody, Kentucky and Oklahoma come up next, and the arena is filling in. And the predominant color, as expected, Kentucky blue. They've won this thing 31 times, but have been without a victory the last 3 years.
Josh Hubbard has only been held in single digits 1 time this year. And Josh Hubbard right now, because of those free throws, extends that double-figure streak that he's on.
2-point lead, Robinson. Tries to penetrate again, absorbs the contact, digging deep, and you can see Robinson was so frustrated with his 2 fouls. Looks like a man on a mission here to start this second half.
The one thing about Robinson, he's an all-league defender, but he gets a little over-aggressive at times, and he's been in foul trouble a lot this year. Robinson has. He's too valuable on the defensive end to pick up those cheap ones.
Cruz back into the game, made a 3 early, and since then missed 3 of them. He's got the ball now. Hands to Warwick, who goes behind his back, and he will draw the foul. See if it's on Matthews or Hubbard.
That's a good example of Missouri going right at Josh Hubbard. Yeah, now you can't just dictate your entire offense to make number 12 guard, but 3 or 4 times a half, I think you got to dial it up and see if Hubbard really wants to stay in front of the ball.
They gave that foul to Matthews. Hubbard will get a break. We'll get that timeout under 12. First time we've seen Delpon Warren, number 6, into the game. The freshman out of Erie, Pennsylvania. Cruz, long launch. too strong and an easy board from Matthews. He pushes. We've seen Amari Williams be the point center for Kentucky. We're seeing a point forward and Matthews a lot handling the ball tonight. Too much dribbling and a steal. It's Robinson. Murphy. That's a flush and a foul. Terrific job by Robinson. Aiden Shaw, welcome to the game.
Robbie, a couple of things I don't like about that. Claudell Harris just messing with the ball in front of an all-league defender. And you can't do that. And after he turned it over, Claudell Harris didn't exactly sprint back. I'm sure Chris Jans saw the same thing. But you cannot play with the ball, dance with the ball, mess with the ball against a guy that's got that good defensively, talking about Anthony Robinson.
How about Robinson seeking the body of Murphy?
Yeah.
Clearing out space for his teammate Shaw. He can't get that free throw to go, and the whistle. We'll do it again. So a freebie for Aiden Shaw on a lane violation call against Mississippi State.
Think about the job Dennis Gates. We talked about in the first half. They go 0-18 last year. And right now, coming in tonight, they have 9 wins over teams that are going to be in that NCAA tournament.
Another extra chance on a missed free throw, an offensive rebound for Cruz. Robinson jumps in. Yep, that's going to be 3 free throws.
Can we please play with discipline when covering a three-point shooter? I'm not a proponent of cursing, but if you're a coach and your guy fouls a three-point shooter, you may let one slip. And it's happened multiple times in this game. Do not lunge and jump towards a shooter. As soon as he left his feet, it was just easy money for Robinson to wait for the collision and get himself to that line.
And Chris Jans could not wait for that 12-minute timeout. He's got all 3 guys coming off the bench, including Hubbard. As the 77% free throw shooter Robinson knocks down the first. And you can just feel the impact Robinson wants to have on this second half. Looks like Josh Gray has made his way back to the bench. See him at the top of your screen looking for a seat. And he's got some electrolytes there. He went triple fisted you. He had 3 in one paw.
I may have to do that between games myself tonight.
A little IV, a little energy. Big game coming up, Jimmy. We're going to need you at your best.
Yeah, that Kentucky-Oklahoma game, it's got a little bit of bad blood from the way that last one finished at Norman a couple of weeks ago. And Oklahoma now solidly, I believe, in that NCAA tournament. And Kentucky came here to win the SEC tournament. A little bit of a change of how they approach it from John Calipari to Mark Colton.
A near 6-minute scoring drought for Mississippi State. Hubbard with 10, penetrates and kicks. Melendez, that's too short. Hubbard has the offensive rebound, and it's Robinson again. The dish, Perkins, no, and a foul called on Kugel. Look at the impact Robinson is having on this game. It is under 12. We'll take a timeout. Missouri got themselves on a little.
And just 20% in this game is Mississippi State from that three-point line. But they do so many things so well to stay in games and to get 21 wins on the season.
Perkins to put him up by 4. He gets the front rim to help him out.
In Mississippi State's last timeout, it was all Cam Matthews' voice that could be heard. He is the heart and soul leader of this team. He was challenging his teammates, saying, if you don't want to win, go to the locker room. But don't insult us by being on this floor. He emphasized defensive stops, saying they are running to the glass, and we don't have any rhythm on offense. So to take that momentum, we need to turn the ball over, and they will lose confidence, and they will fold if we keep that up.
He is Chris Jans' security blanket, and he's the enforcer on this team. And when he speaks in that huddle, sometimes it means more than the head coach, and that message is loud and clear, obviously.
Hubbard, they needed that one as he found the bottom. Pulls him within 2. And Matthews, a graduate out of Olive Branch, Mississippi. That's a pretty easy message to understand. And they get a defensive stop. Cruz looked good, no good. Out of bounds, and everybody's hands are up. And wow, finally the third official says let's go the other way, Molly.
And guys, my favorite part about that timeout is that we expected Chris Jans to be heated and trying to incite passion in his players, but it was all Cam Matthews. And when Jans would try to talk to the team, Matthews almost interrupted him and got in the middle of the huddle and talked instead, and Jans just sat back and let his leader speak and let his message emanate through the team. So Jans didn't even have to say much in that last time out.
Well, that's a sign of a really good, mature team, because the coach can't fix all the problems. You've got to have a player or two that will fix the problem before the coach has to, and that's exactly what Cam Matthews does time and time again for this team.
And every coach, every manager will tell you players run the team. In a perfect world, it's a player-run team. And Matthews is special. He's now been brought into the game. The State tries to re-grab the lead if they can with the 3, tie it with a 2. Hubbard, streak shooter, just knocked down a 3. Melendez, no. Look at Matthews. That's how you earn the respect. Hubbard, too strong. Whoa, what a great rebound there. Jones came flying in.
He is such an athlete from that big wing position. And he is a quick, fast guy that can win those 50-50 loose ball rebounds.
Tied at 52. Bates a little quiet in the second half. Big first half as Cruz stops. Now he pops. That's blocked that time by Kugel. Matthews' message may have been received. Melendez. Oh, he knocked it in off the window, and a chance for 3. Boy, what a different effort since Molly's report on Matthews' message.
Well, his lack of making threes has not affected how hard he plays in SEC play, talking about Melendez. And Missouri doesn't race back. They don't stop the ball. It all started with that shot block, I believe, from Kugel from behind. And the Mississippi State run game was off and running.
A 7-0 run, Jimmy, in the last 90 seconds. Make it 8. And the Dogs now up 3.
The Dogs are starting to bark behind the bench. Are you hearing that? Yeah. The free throws made?
Was it a whoop whoop?
I love that.
Fill in Pierce. Straight on. That was a good, well-designed play.
Good job by Pierce to sprint up top. He's a 6'10 guard is how you have to defend that kid.
Hubbard, ball fake. Floater. Yes, soft touch, Josh Hubbard.
All small guards have to have that float game. I mean, Hubbard has everything. He's got the lift on the jump shot, the mid-range pull-ups, the floaters.
He's got 16 points, and Perkins, no. How competitive have these games been early in this tournament? Kugel behind the back. Matthews kick. Melendez. No. Double overtime game today. Arkansas down to the wire. They were beaten on a Padula 3 at the buzzer. Phenomenal games. Oh, what a tough shot about the lefty rising to Tamar Bates.
You cannot let those Missouri guards get separation. As they back dribble, you got to suck up that empty space and get right in, climb up into their jersey. And Tamar Bates that time just, again, not going to speed him up, playing with composure, but that little bit of a back dribble to get the separation is really elite stuff by Tamar Bates. Watch this, Ravi. The pressure's pretty good. That back dribble right there, that back step, bam, nothing but the bottom of the net in Bridgestone Arena.
A regular season banner or a tournament banner, and certainly an NCAA championship banner. Kentucky's first game comes up next against the Oklahoma Sooners, and man, not a surprise that Big Blue Nation off Broadway, Cats playing tonight.
Now this Bridgestone Arena is probably 80% Kentucky fans as you look around as they wait for the next game to tip off. There will be no love lost at all between Oklahoma and Kentucky.
But we have a thrilling 8.5 left to go in this game. It has been seesaw between the Dogs and the Tigers. Melendez got his man up in the air. He couldn't convert, and Gray is back into the game, which is a good sign for Missouri. He was cramping up, got a little IV, and got some liquids in him. Reminder, SEC Now, of course, live from right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Comes up right after the game. Highlights, analysis, interviews, coaches and the players. Shout out to the PR staffs, the coaches and the players after every game, Jimmy. The coaches and the player of the game all have gone under the set and visited with the SEC Now crew. It's been phenomenal, the access they allow us to have.
Yeah, no doubt. R.J. Melendez has been fouled 5 times in this game. Josh Hubbard has been fouled 5 times in this game. Josh Hubbard has been fouled 10 times total between last night and tonight. They put fouls on you awfully well.
58-58. Grill has been held in check tonight. 1 of 9 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3.
Sean Jones is an inch taller and long and just not leaving Grill at all.
Yeah, 5 seconds. Gray caught in the corner. They got to get this thing up in 2. They do, and boy, another late clock foul. This time against Mississippi State. They call it, I believe, on Melendez. Boy, there have been some bailout calls. We got less than 8 to play, Jimmy. We got the faces of the SEC tournament, the intensity, the anticipation of what's to come. We got NCAA tournament teams, and they badly want to win the game tonight and win this championship.
Just has not been sped up, and transfers back home, comes from Indiana, and a big 17 points tonight, 6 out of 9.
As coach, this is Gates on Bates. Great leader, great young man, dude who has never gotten in trouble, done everything I have asked.
And guys, in that last huddle, Gates and his staff were really happy with the team's offense. They said offensively we're good. We don't need to change there. But on defense, we need to lock in on their shooters, emphasizing defense on Josh Hubbard, saying we need team help on him. You can't let him heat up. And they also emphasized offensive rebounds are killing us. You're making those second chance points too easy, and the Bulldogs with 16 second chance points in this game so far.
Yeah, it's funny too. I mean, everybody that watched the NBA when the Detroit Pistons had Vinnie Johnson, he's calling the microwave, like not letting Hubbard heat up.
Yeah.
He can heat up in a second.
But those are big physical guards from Missouri. They've got to stay attached. You cannot give 12 airspace at all in this game.
Well, they went to a little zone defense here and try to break that up, and Mississippi State did a good job to get it in the paint. Now with 10. Kugel, Murphy, laid it up and in. They did a great job against the zone.
Well, you have to cut against the zone, and Keyshawn Murphy, so good at 6'11". He has a very high IQ as a big guy playing off the ball.
Already had a buzzer beater and a double overtime game earlier today. Difficult shot that hung on the rim for an eternity that falls for Bates. He's got 19.
It's pretty much what we thought coming into Nashville. These second round games, all teams that are going to be in that NCAA tournament. High quality play across the board.
Kugel steps through. That's too strong, and Murphy had a chance for it. Run down by Cruz. Missouri up by 2 with the ball.
Mar Bates tucked away in that far corner. He's shooting 50% from the floor, 40% from the 3, 90% from the line. The first guy in the history of Missouri to be a 50, 40, 90 guy.
Perkins throws it down. Gray. One-on-one. Matthews with a rip. And they were late to get that ball. Hubbard was open at the top.
Look at Grill just blow up those handoffs.
Hubbard floater, it's so smooth.
Do you know how hard that is and how easy he made that look? He fought off the overplay by Grill and went right back and got it on a get action. And a tough 2 by Josh Hubbard.
He's got 18 now on 6 of 16 shooting. And 11 of those 18 have come this half. Perkins using that big body of his. Lays it up with a left. Looks like Dennis Gates wanted to get a timeout after that basket and was not granted. The official did not see him. Murphy will pick up the foul on Gray.
Well, Missouri's got the lead, and how they done it their last 2 hoops. Awful crafty. Tamar Bates going down that left side. That ball just literally sits on the rim for about a second and a half. And then Perkins, again, that dribble hold action. He gets in front of his primary defender, holds him off with that derriere, and then the ability to finish with a tough 2.
Gray goes to the bench. He's got 4 fouls. Murphy to the free throw line. Well, tonight he is 2 of 4. He throws it way up in the air to bring it down. He's just a 59% free throw shooter. Jay Melendez spells the athletic Jones.
Murphy shot right at 61% from the field in conference play. A ton of dunks. He doesn't do anything outside of his training. Very disciplined for a 6'11" kid.
16 points, 7 rebounds to Sean Murphy. On a night in which they've gotten very little, next to nothing from Michael Nwoka.
Well, this game fits right in line with the first 2 we had today in Nashville, right?
Nice step through Perkins to set up Grill, who drills Cruz. Got it. And a little look and stare at Matthews, his defender. Hubbard pulls up. Oh, he got hit. What a shot. Hubbard, a chance for 4. He makes the harder shots than the easy ones.
We talked about it last night, and analytically, that's an accurate statement. I mean, his lift, I talked about it last night. He's 5'10", but where his release point is, it's probably about right there where like Dalton Connect was last year, who's a 6'5" and had a lot of pop. But his leg strength is exceptional. He has to lead the nation in the number of times he gets fouled as a three-point shooter.
And Cruz was right there. He pulled up right in his mug. And the fear that Gates had about him getting hot is coming true, man. He's got 15 this half. Perkins drove it all the way in, and he's looking for a foul, and he's almost looking too hard. You don't think these teams want to win this game in this tournament? They inbounds it. Melendez goes up top. Careful. It's kept alive, and it's Perkins. To the paint on Murphy. He will shoot 2 free throws. Now, there's another. We talked about these spectacular freshmen. Jeremiah Fears.
Previous play is under review.
You know, it looked like, Jimmy, one of the officials may have signaled a goaltend. I don't think that ball ever got close, as Murphy knocked it out of the air, but I believe that's what they're looking at, and maybe they'll quickly discover it's going to be a 2 shots.
After review, the goaltending was reversed. It'll be 2 shots.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess you have to look at it. It was pretty clear that ball was just still going straight up.
It hadn't actually reached the rim, I don't know.
Right, but there's a lot of momentum, I think, for continuation plays going forward.
I love
in
that.
college basketball, because if not, I just think we're rewarding the defense for making that bang foul as the offensive player clearly is into his shot motion. I'm in complete favor of it, and I think it's starting to gain some traction. Again, this will be an upcoming rule change for college basketball this offseason.
And you keep reminding people rule change summer. That's a real thing. Like, they don't change the rules
Not every year. No,
Exactly.
not every year. They can, you know, change the emphasis from one year to the next, but I believe it's on a 2-year cycle where they change those rules. But I just think we're moving in that direction. I think we're also moving to do something with all the monitor reviews, whether it's just in the last 2 minutes only or the coaches have a challenge like the NBA. That's also in the works behind closed doors. It has been for the last 3 or 4 months.
That's a good thing. The games have taken way too long. 2-hour windows, now 2.5, 2:40. Great game here, though. Missouri up by 1, 69-68 after Perkins buried the 2 free throws. He's got 16 in the game.
Well, Drill continues to fight his tail off defensively, does he not?
He sure does. He left Melendez open, though. And he drives. Difficult shot. Good defense. Rebound. Boy, he is hustling, too. You mentioned Drill. Melendez doing the same thing.
Well, Melendez, this is his last go-around. He's been a below 30% three-point shooter his entire career. 2 at Illinois, 1 at Georgia, and now at Mississippi State. But he understands in a game like this, man, you've got to drive that thing downhill with force. He's done a very good job. Now, the 6th time he's been fouled in this game, that's the most of anybody.
Robinson picked up his 4th foul, so a couple of guys, Gray and Robinson, each with 4 fouls on Missouri. Melendez and Nwoko each with 3.
I think you're at the point of the game with Missouri. If Hubbard gives it up, you do not let him get it back. 15 points in the second half, and you take him away if he gives that ball up. The remaining 4:13 in this game.
Well, one of the keys to this game right now, the score tied. 8 missed free throws for the Bulldogs. Robinson, backdoor, Grill, throw it down. Here comes Hubbard. Right at the guy who scored and rejected into 3 rows deep. That's Hubbard's approach. After somebody scores, go right at him. And you know who wasn't having any of that? Aiden Shaw. None of it.
We had a tie game until Missouri burns that pressure off that Mississippi State was trying to apply. And Caleb Grill has so much respect for a shooter. He just took 1 step higher and got his defender to bite, and 31 in white brings the hammer. What a game again.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the time of the day, Jimmy. You got to wear those shades at night, baby. 71-69, under 4 to go. 3rd straight phenomenal game and set up for another great finish. Buzzer beater and a double overtime win earlier by Texas today. Ole Miss with a buzzer beater. Boys, Matthews and Murphy in this one. Right now is Kugel. Straight on 3, no good. And Cruz comes back to get the rebound. I think Kugel is 0 for 7.
Interesting play call coming out of that timeout. Obviously, that play was designed for Kugel.
They tried that backdoor move that Shooter talked about, but Grill unable to get open. He fires just a little short. It was right on. And a foul underneath Matthews on Shaw, who's getting very physical. It was Keyshawn Murphy who ended up on his backside, and Shaw had a rebound.
Yeah, the rebounds are tied now 35-34, but man, both clubs just no giving at all when that ball's on the glass. I think Slay talked about it. Mississippi State with 14 offensive rebounds in the game is the reason why they have 9 more shots in this game overall.
Shot to put them up 3. Missouri 13 of 17 from the stripe. Shaw fires up another one and finds the bottom.
You're having Missouri with 19 fast break points to Mississippi State's 4. That's a big number in this game.
Missouri fans on their feet. Tamar Bates draws the Hubbard assignment. Kugel picked up his dribble, and that's a problem.
Josh Hubbard being top blocked and face guarded by Bates.
Murphy gets it low, and he could not finish. Good pass by Matthews out of bounds off State.
But he almost got it back. Keyshawn Murphy with a very unique ability. How fast he is off that 2nd and 3rd jump. Almost paid off with the secure of the loose ball.
Under 3. Feels like a pretty important trip right here for the Tigers for this game. Perkins, a lot of one-on-one against Jones. Cruz went to the corner. Perkins up and in.
That was strength versus length, and strength won out, going right through the chin of Jones.
5-point lead. Murphy out of bounds again off state. They've tried twice to go to him. And the momentum is in Missouri's corner right now.
Yeah, the 8th turnover by Mississippi State's a big one. They're right here. This is strength of Perkins against length of Jones, and Jones leaves his feet. And Perkins the strength to just go right through a couple of black jerseys. Has a big boy basket by 12 in white.
18 big points for him as well. Mississippi State, Jimmy, 1 point their last 6 trips. Still plenty of time in this game, though. 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Full court pressure being applied by the Dogs. Robinson with 4 fouls. They're going to call, Hubbard. It's not a legal guarding position, because clearly that was instigated by Robinson. That's what Jan's maybe arguing here.
Well, Robinson's bringing this ball up. Yeah, Hubbard gets into him. Robinson extended the arm but didn't make any contact, and Hubbard comes in, and officials officiate the defender, Ravi. They get their eyes on the defender, and that's how they judge who initiated the contact.
Lead grows to 6. Free throws from Robinson. The first one drops. He's got 6 points. He played with foul trouble and didn't get many minutes in the first half. Boy, that was 3/4 of the way down.
Big miss, though. 2-possession game. Can Hubbard get off another 3? Missouri's going to say anyone else but you.
Murphy, he nearly had that go down. Perkins with the foul. Keyshawn Murphy, how about getting the ball to number 3 and having him go to work?
He has been terrific. Murphy, 16 points in this game. He's made half of his shots. He also has 8 rebounds. The way they're defending Hubbard, Hubbard would be a terrific candidate right now to be a screener, like a back screener, because they're not going to leave him. Could certainly free up a big, and if they take the bait, then Hubbard could pick and pop.
Kind of how Alabama will use Sears every now and then.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, those kind of guys have gravity ability. Like the defense just is attracted to elite scores like that, and it can really open up the floor if you use those guys as screeners.
Kugel's coming out. Jones coming in. Murphy's been very good from the stripe. He's 5 of 7. Chance to pull him within 4 as we're just under 2 minutes to play. Kentucky, Oklahoma to follow. They're solid, Murphy tonight. Again, the full-court pressure. Dennis Gates called the timeout. It's going to be for 30 seconds. We'll be right back. Missouri's got a 4-point lead and the ball. 22 on the shot clock.
Okay, so his guy should be the guy that pops, and should be a pretty easy and pretty clean inbounds here.
Now there it is to Robinson. On the shot clock. Hubbard chases Robinson. Here's Bates. The lefty. Step back. Nope. Rebound. Perkins up. No good. Murphy has it, and it hit the back of the backboard, and it's going to be, well, it's going to be Missouri basketball, but they're going to look at it. They were playing volleyball underneath. Take a look from above the rim.
Well, we know under 2 minutes you're going to look to see who's
for his white ball that plays under
bounds off of,
and a clock.
Yeah, the standard gets in the way of that replay.
There's not very many angles where the camera on top will be blocked, but that was one of them. Well, that's Murphy's finger. I think it was Murphy's hand, Jimmy, that it went off of, that ultimately made contact. This will be the best look. That's Murphy's left hand.
After review, the call is confirmed.
Right
the game clock will be set to 1:24.
So Missouri basketball, 1:24 on the clock, leading by 4. Difficult shot that Bates threw up there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job. The shot clock has to be at 20, not 30, and they finally got that right over there at the scoring table.
And give Perkins credit, man. He charged. He got that offensive rebound.
He has played so tough, Perkins, in this game. Don't forget physical guard.
Coming up next, Oklahoma and Kentucky. The shooters of Oklahoma will be challenged, as will their defense against Kentucky, ready to take the floor for the first time.
And Muhammad Wagi is going to have to be really good against that Kentucky front line.
The inbounds play worked beautifully. Bates laid it up and in. He's got 21. They'll hand it to Hubbard. He needs it. That is way off to the right. Rebound, Missouri. Rough night of shooting continues for Hubbard. 3 of 11 from deep. There's going to be a foul, and Missouri starting to smell it now. Up by 6, under a minute to play.
Well, a really slick out-of-bounds play by Missouri that just may have closed the door on Mississippi State in the last possession. You're going to see Bates just breaks off the play. Actually, there's just nothing there, and his defender's on the high side. Jones makes the mistake, and that's what good players do. You can call a play, but they see something else develop, just break it off like Bates did, and maybe just shut the door on Mississippi State's run in this SEC tournament.
And a phenomenal night for Tamar Bates. He's now made all 3 of his free throws. He's got 22 points on 8 of 12 shooting. He's logged the most minutes with 32.
And this Gates told him prior to this tournament, I need you to stay aggressive. Well, message sent and message received from Gates to Tamar Bates.
Bates has made his last 23 free throws without a miss. Hubbard, that's no good. Rebound, you know who. And Grill hands it off. Boy, what a mistake that was. Melendez. No good, and once again Missouri has it. Well, interesting. I thought Gross was going to dribble it out. Instead, he handed it off underneath. But an 8-point lead, 31 seconds. And Missouri appears as if they are on the doorstep of moving on to the quarters.
Well, they are 31 seconds away, Missouri is, from sweeping Mississippi State. They won 88-61 this year in Starkville. And up 8 with 31 seconds to go in this one. I like this Missouri team a lot.
Yeah.
They come in tonight, number 5 offensive efficiency team in the country. That's how good they are on the offensive end. Their defensive number is not quite as good at 74. They're just a pain in the backside to play against.
Mississippi State 0 for their last 7. Hubbard laid it up and in, and we're going to extend it with a timeout. 8-point deficit, 25.8 to go. They got one more timeout to burn.
Man, what a night for Tamar Bates to go off. 25 points in this game. He's only missed 4 shots. And he's drawn 6 or 7 fouls. He's been so aggressive, but not sped up. Always under control. The pressure of Mississippi State's defense has not bothered this kid. Mississippi State has not been able to take away his left hand. And just a smart read on that baseline out of bounds under about 45 seconds ago probably closed this game off.
A reminder of how his head coach feels about him, again, re-emphasizing what a leader he is, what a great young man he is. A senior out of Kansas City who came via Indiana, never causes any trouble. And he has done everything he's asked, and tonight probably a little more than he's asked.
And Missouri also, Ravi, they shoot 73% as a team, and those guards, like Bates, 93% free throw shooter. Real value in March trying to close out games.
Well, they were looking to get the foul. They weren't given the foul, and Hubbard sticks his hand in there with just 19. It's now just a formality for the Tigers. Boomer Sooners, man, these teams, give them credit. These games have dragged on, and we had an overtime, double overtime. We had a buzzer beater. So there's a lot of standing and waiting. And then you come out here and try to get focused, as Oklahoma will get set to deal with the Kentucky Wildcats. And Mark Pope's first foray into the SEC tournament as head of the Cats.
It has been a neutral floor until Kentucky takes the floor in this tournament, because Big Blue Nation is 80% going to fill this thing in the nightcap. Think about Oklahoma last night. Molly did a great job with Porter Moser. He actually got kind of emotional at the end, realizing that they are in that NCAA tournament. They've been the first team left out 2 of his first 3 years. And Boomer Sooner came here and got that win last night.
Hubbard no good.
No, another foul, Ravi.
Second half, Jimmy, Missouri has made 17 of 20 free throws. We saw Jay Billis after their game earlier. What did he say? They had 50 free throws in that game.
Yeah, and he talked about 2 games. He's sat in this chair for 7.5 hours.
We've had 50.
We might match it.
53 free throws in this game.
Well, this league once again leads the country in fouls called per game. It's a physical league, and there's going to be a lot of fouls called, but boy, there's the disappointment that happens in March. That they will live to see another day. They are solidly in that NCAA tournament, Mississippi State. They will go home and get rested up and wait for that bracket to be announced on Sunday.
And Hubbard and Matthews and Murphy will make life difficult.
Yeah, they will.
But it's Missouri. Awfully impressive performance tonight with Bates 25, Perkins 20. They win it 85-73. And they sweep this series and move on in this SEC tournament. A 16-4 run to close it for Dennis Gates' Tigers. Florida, it's Missouri you're going to deal with tomorrow, and we know how one of those meetings went earlier this year, Jimmy, with Missouri getting one of the signature wins of the SEC regular season.
That's when the eyes of the country, I think, really jumped on Missouri when they went in there and won in Gainesville. And that will be quite a game after that Auburn, Ole Miss, and then Tennessee, Texas, and then you and I take over with Florida, Missouri, and we wait the winner of Kentucky, Oklahoma to take on Nate Oates' squad.
What a great day, but certainly night, man. Florida, Missouri in a rematch at Alabama, perhaps against Kentucky or Oklahoma. We will see. We're waiting to find out who Molly's going to get to talk, but Missouri does a terrific job in the second half, and they shoot nearly 50% for the game. Free throw shooting was a big difference in this one. They knocked in 23 of them. And the final score doesn't really let you know how close this game was. Here's Molly.
Tamar, you took over in the second half. How are you able to spark your offense, especially with Mark Mitchell out?
I mean, we knew that like the game was just gonna come down to execution in the second half. There was a lot of fouls, like the game was slowing down. So, I mean, I give all that credit to Coach Gates, honestly, just calling the right plays just to get guys in the right spots.
Yeah, it was a back and forth game that was dripping with intensity from the jump. How is your team the tougher team down the stretch in those final minutes?
I mean, we knew yesterday when they beat LSU that they was coming to play football. Like, they're a physical-minded team, and we knew that we had to bring our intensity, and we were able to do that tonight.
Next up, you have a Florida team tomorrow that you defeated during the regular season. How do you beat them twice? What will it take?
I mean, obviously, our preparation got to be right. We got to go back and get some rest, get a game plan ready to go, and just come out here and see what we can do.
All right, get some rest. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.